when people split up, I've noticed a big difference between how women and men deal with split ups. A lot of the time, guys, when they split up, they move on very quickly or quite quickly. I'm not talking about Amir Khan specifically, because nobody knows, you know, what's happening, or has he moved on to somebody else, and it's only an allegation. If he says he hasn't, he hasn't, so we have no right to say anything other than that. But generally, most guys, they can move on quite quickly, and when there's a serious breakup or divorce or a separation, it can be like that, you know, just thinking of the next woman, next girl to move on. Whereas in stark contrast to that, what I've seen is a lot of women, the sisters will be much more emotional in terms of like how they feel about a relationship. So they'll be thinking about what went wrong, what happened, and I've seen in my life people that for years and years and years never got over the relationship, and will ponder over it for years on, and just continue to think about what happened or what didn't happen, what could have happened, and it's hard for them to move on in many cases. Whereas the guys, you'll see just like they're back on whatever, singlemuslim.com or on social media looking for somebody else, whereas the sisters will be thinking about other things. So it's just the way that men and women deal with these situations. In most cases, that's what I've experienced. It is something. Now, what I'm trying to say here is that in their situation with Amir Khan and Faryal, what you need to appreciate, or what needs to be understood, is that from, especially when there's a child involved, the father, obviously every loving father will miss their child or children, and that's probably what's happening right now with him, and she'll be thinking about and there's no woman that is happy at divorce, and we have to appreciate and understand that divorce for a woman is extremely traumatizing, and in one way, a sister put it to me once, was it's quite even humiliating. It's I'm not saying that divorce is not an option. It is when there is no other way out, or there's you know, you can't find a solution to a problem after you've tried many times, and not on the other hand when people are just divorcing, you know, for tiny minor reasons, but after you've tried everything again and again, and you have people involved, and like the Quran says, to bring two parties together to resolve it, even after that, if you still can't resolve a matter, then obviously divorce is an option, but as a last resort. But what actually happens is, when you've got women on one side with children, and you've got a guy thinking of moving on, sometimes the women, or actually quite often women, the only thing they have left for different reasons, might be revenge, it might be anger, it might be jealousy, it could be any reason. Women can use the children as a weapon, and the only people who lose out on that is the children, because the children get traumatized, get confused by this whole battle between the parents, and sisters out there who use their children as a weapon because they know the father loves the child. It's a terrible thing to do. On the other hand, fathers that become absent or don't care, that's another problem for another day. But where the father doesn't want to see the kids, it's the child's right to see the kid. And also, a lot of people do not know Islamically how to divorce, so they don't know actually the rights of your wife as soon as you've divorced, how you have to maintain, and also there are differences of opinion, but there are opinions on how you actually break up, and a lot of people don't even know the fiqh, the jurisprudence, the rules for marriage and those for divorce. So the scholars say you should learn the rules for marriage, and you should learn the rules for divorce. And the good courses will actually teach you both. Not hopefully that you'll never need the second one, the latter. Hopefully it will never be needed. But I just wanted to help you think about things that happen when they break up, because I got some really nice messages, people saying that we're talking about some quite positive stuff, when everybody out there is hating on both of them and just speculating and having a good time with all the gossip and wondering what's happening next. Whereas there's a lot more to it. When you involve human beings, there's a lot of emotions involved, history, stories, backgrounds that we don't know about. A married couple only know their story. They only know the good points, the bad points, the good memories, the bad memories. So it's not for us to discuss that at all. But just going on taking that as a case study for other people in terms of how sisters should react, especially when you've got kids involved, whether you're going to use them or not for as a weapon. You can't really do that. It's wrong. It's un-Islamic. It's unethical. On the other hand, the fathers, the men, need to do things in the correct way, not making false allegations, not just neglecting their duties during the divorce process. Because divorce is not just a one-stage thing in terms of the whole process of till everything is over. So it's something that we pray that everybody gets to appreciate and to be very, very sensitive to sisters who get divorced, because it's not easy. It's not easy at all. It's not easy for the men as well. The men also get traumatized, but in a different way. So there's two different kinds of pains, but definitely women ponder of it for longer, in my experience. And Allah make it easy for everybody out there. Anyone's having trouble and has children, or anyone in a problem with their marriage, Allah make it easy for you. And I hope that we can learn from these examples, rather than just using them as something to be entertained by or have fun or laugh about or just tweet silly messages, but rather actually learn from it for ourselves and for others and other people that we know that we care about, so that we can try to make improvements in our lives. If you did enjoy this video, please share it with everybody else, and I will be uploading more videos that are relevant to you guys, to your lives. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.